Welcome everyone to the final day of the E4 Championship. Today we will decide our third champion who will join Ugo Chukwu and Akshay Bora to claim themselves as the champion of the E4 Championship. Welcome everyone to the Temple of Speed. We have set the grids for both races. We did that on Friday and we had the first of our 3 races yesterday. Starting on pole position for all 3 races is Keen Nakamura-Berta. Let's hear from him now.
Keen, how do you feel going to race 2 this morning? Will be full attack or more conservative race?
I think it'll be the same as always. Focus on a decent start, and from there we'll try to manage it. Obviously we'll go for the win if the chances are there, but you know, we also have to think about the championship as well. So yeah, we'll see.
Good luck.
Keen Nakamura-Berta, when he takes the checkered flag, he could become the champion in this race and have it wrapped up before the 3rd race. He takes a 17-point lead over Gabriel Gomez into this race. Now that will sound different to what we had yesterday. It was a 20-point lead at the end of yesterday's race, but there was a lot of penalties after the race yesterday, unsurprisingly, because it was a race filled of safety cars. The most significant, and the one I'll touch on, is that Sebastian Weldon lost his podium, promoting Gabriel Gomez to 2nd, meaning we have a 17-point advantage between the 2 leaders. So if Keen Nakamura-Berta wins and Gomez is 3rd or lower, he becomes champion. He's on pole alongside Rino Franco. Ari Banzer was 3rd alongside Newman Cheat. A non-finish for Ari Banzer along with many others yesterday. Kabir Anurag and Gabriel Gomez, row 3. Gomez with work to do, needs to get into the top 2 places. Andrea Kostic and Sebastian Weldon, who takes a grid drop, is next along. Then we have Salim Hanna and Elia Weiss, Arjun Kraring and Dante Vinci is next. Grid drops also for Ruta and Busso as well. 2-place grid drops for them, 4 places for Weldon. Alexander Bondarev and that grid drop for Alexander Ruta on 14th place. Then row 8, it's Andy Consani and Nicolo Macagnani, who's having a very impressive debut weekend in the championship. Maximilian Popov and Nicolas Cortez, another person stepping in and doing very well right there in the middle of the pack. Alexander Zavinkov and Badir Al-Salati next, and Lucas Nanji also coming in with Premier Racing this weekend. Andrea Dupé didn't get through the first corner yesterday. Guy Albag and Evan Michelini are on row 12. Then we come to Emily Cotti and Mathilde Pats on row 13. Alex Powell all the way down on row 14. Could be one to watch from there. Abdullah Kamal is next along. Ginevra Panzeri and Andre Rodriguez are next, and Peyton Westcott's involved in a first corner incident yesterday, along with Ludovico Busso on the back row. There we go. We're all set and ready to go. Now the drivers, well, a bit of a talking to they had yesterday because it was a race with a lot of safety car incidents. But we have to remember this is F4. There are a lot of drivers coming out of karting in their first experience of single-seater racing. This is the place where they learn their craft. They learn how to go single-seater racing. It's their first experience of driving in these kind of cars before they step up into something like the Formula Regional European Championship, and then beyond that into Formula 3. Ugo Chukwu, for example, was our champion in our inaugural season, and look what he's doing now. Fastest in all the Formula 3 tests, and had a great season this year as well. So this is a chance for them to learn, and that they would have done a lot of yesterday. Let's hope for a smoother run today. More focus, though, let's put on the championship. Keen Nakamura-Berta, 17-point advantage over Gabriel Gomez. Those 2 really are only focus now for the championship. Keen Nakamura-Berta needs to extend that gap to 26 points by the end of this race if he wants to fully confirm himself as the champion going into race 3. So if he wins and Gabriel Gomez is 3rd or lower, he becomes the champion. We use an F1 point style system, 25 to your winner, all the way down to 1 point for 10th. It's 18 for 2nd, 15 for 3rd. So, you know, if he puts another 10 points on Gabriel Gomez, he will become the champion. Gabriel Gomez needs to get into the top 2 places to guarantee this fight goes to the third and final race. That's how we'll go. Keen Nakamura-Berta won yesterday's race due to the fact he nailed the last restart. He caught myself out and he caught the whole entire field out when he went for an early restart coming down to the final corner and broke up the pack. Sebastian Weldon tried to get him back on the final lap, but cut the corner in the process and then allowed Keen Nakamura back through. Took second on the road, but later lost that, promoting Gomez back through. So let's watch, in terms of the championship, 3 to your left of screen, 3 rows back. That's Gomez for US Racing. And then our leader, championship leader, is on pole position there to the right of screen. Keen Nakamura-Berta, who lost the lead yesterday to Newman Chi on the first corner. Newman Chi is on the second row to the left of screen. However, it's Reno Franco on the front row today. This is from qualifying 2, the order that we have today. So there are 2 qualifying sessions on Friday. This is the fastest laps from qualifying 2. There's 33 of them out there. There's 30 minutes plus a lap ahead. Will we have a champion by the end of it? Let's find out. Green flag is waved at the back of the field. To the left of screen is Reno Franco. To the right is Keen Nakamura-Berta. And we are go for race 2 in E4 at the Temple of Speed. Down towards the first corner we go, and Reno Franco has made the jump on Keen Nakamura-Berta as we head down to the Retafilo chicane, and Reno Franco will take the lead of the race, fighting round the outside. Surely will be Nakamura-Berta, but Franco has locked up and goes into the path there. Oh, who's that spun? Is that Gabriel Gomez who has spun? We've got someone facing in the wrong direction. Is that the US Racing car of Gabriel Gomez? I think it might be. Let's find out as they now make their way around Curva Grande. If it is, then surely Keen Nakamura-Berta has won this championship as long as he stays on the road. I can see another US Racing car in the pack, which may be Gomez, but we certainly, I think, have lost one of them through the Rogia chicane now. They head and in towards the next section. It might be it could be Anurag or Ali Bansal who has gone as well, because they were together. Gabriel Gomez has come through the split, so Ari Bansu, I fear, is the car that we have lost through the first corner, and he's having a disaster weekend, unfortunately. So it's Ari Bansu, who looks like has gone round and has dropped to the back of the field. Gomez fans, you can take a sigh of relief because he is continuing on. There is Dupay, who's run wide. What a disaster weekend he's having as well. But Gomez is there. He's ahead of the pink Alpine livery of his teammate Kabir Anurag. Kabir, very easy to identify, the Alpine Junior, as they head out of Ascari down to the final corner now. And Nakamura-Berta is leading ahead of Reno Franco, ahead of Newman Chi. Then it's Gomez next along, who has just got by Andrea Kostic, who is now third in that queue. So Gomez is up to P4 around the final corner now and up towards the start-finish line. Round Parabolica, they go down the start-finish straight. Andrea Kostic looks like he's lost a couple of places at the expense of Gomez and Anurag. Gomez now needs to... could do with a bit of assistance here from Anurag, but Anurag wants to get on the podium places, and Anurag's going to fight round the outside there of Gomez. A bit of a lock-up from Kabir Anurag, but he's taken the place. Oh, spin for the 38, who's gone round. That's a Ruta, and the number 62, I think, of a Crowling went as well, so we could have a safety car here. We had 2 cars who went off in avoidance through the first chicane there, and they are now rejoining the circuit, but the yellow flag is out. Hopefully those 2 cars can get going unless they are wedged together, but I'll tell you what Gomez could do with a safety car here, because he's lost Keen Nakamura-Berta and the rest of the field completely, and I think he will get one. So safety car, I think, will be out. Those 2 cars look like they're going absolutely nowhere through the first couple of corners. And if for Gabriel Gomez stands, I think a safety car would come at a good time here, because Nakamura-Berta has bolted from the field. Newman Chi has just gone through to second as well, ahead of Reno Franco. He's having a great weekend, is Newman Chi, as they head down to Ascari now. We've got Nakamura-Berta, Chi, Franco, Gomez in 4th. Anurag is fighting with Seb Weldon next for 5th place. For now, we are continuing on. Those 2 cars have got going. Green flag is out, it seems. I think yellows may have turned to greens, and we are getting going again. I'm hearing in my ear confirmation that those drivers got going. So a good work from the drivers, and we continue on. Let's find out what happened. Oh, wow. Nakamura, Berta, how on earth did he not get spun round? Ari Bansal got it all wrong there and nearly wiped out the championship leader. Nakamura, Berta somehow got it going without any significant damage. There goes Dupé off. Great camera angle picked up there by our team in the gallery, but how on earth did King Nakamura Berta continue on there? There we can see clear road ahead of us, so that comes as good news. We don't want to see safety cars. I think we had enough for the weekend yesterday. Oh no, as I say that, there goes the 44 round. Unfortunately, going off into the gravel. That's Guy Albag who's kept the engine running, and Guy Albag will look like he can continue on, but the furious fight continues. This is Kabir Anurag fighting away in the background with Salim Hanna and Andrea Kostic. You've got Salim Hanna, the Prema Racing driver, making their way through now and down towards the Ascari. Right, what happened here a little bit further back? Someone just getting a little bit of a lock up there and running wide. Incident noted. Oh, there we go. So that was the 38 being tagged around into a spin by the 62. So that was Ruta who's tagged into a spin. And there we saw the incident for Albag. Let's have a watch what happened. The 43. Going into the side of Guy Albag, so that's a Michelini. Trying to get down the inside. It's that you see those kind of incidents around there a lot, don't you, when we get cars side by side. Let's go back to the racing. There's going to be a couple of incidents for the stewards to look out, but we are still green, which is the main thing. Right now, Nakamura Berta will be the champion when the checkered flag comes out, but we can see ahead that Gomez has a chance to get into the top two, and Rino Franco has made a mess of the first corner and has gone straight on, trying to get up the inside of Newman Chi, and did the right thing, took to the exit curb in avoidance, and is now going to rejoin back behind Newman Chi, Rino Franco, Gabriel Gomez in the chase. Nakamura Berta with a lead of 1.4 seconds. Seb Weldon is there in 5th place, closing in on the chasing pack, and is doing a good job here, Weldon. He's cleared Kabir Anurag and the rest behind and is working his way through. We've got Anurag, Hanna, Kostic. That's that fight behind. Then it's Bondarev next along, Konsani, Weiss, Al-Salati, Makanyani, Popov, and Cortez. The incident between 43 and 44, which we saw, Michelini and Albag, has been noted as well. Look at this, though, from Nakamura Berta. He's extending his lead all the time. It's up another, it's up to 2.2 seconds now. Absolutely flying. Newman Chi in second. That change coming after Rino Franco went wide at the first corner. And now Rino Franco is having to defend from Gabriel Gomez, and Gomez is going to look to the outside. He's got a championship to fight on for here, and the Brazilian is going to draft past Rino Franco, and Gomez is up into 3rd place. So Gomez goes through into 3rd place and makes his way past, needs to get into the top 2 places here, does Gabriel Gomez. One more to go to keep this alive. Weldon now drawing alongside Rino Franco. After that, he will try and begin the chase to Nakamura Berta. They make their way through the first corner. Oh, and Weldon just getting a little bit of a swapper on, but I think that was to try and set up the switchback move, which Rino Franco was wise to. Round curve Grande now, and that was a forceful defence there from Franco, but Weldon is becoming impatient here. He wants to get by, and he wants to do it now, and he's going to do it. Weldon is through. He can see Newman Chi and Gabriel Gomez are escaping ahead, and he wants to go with them. That said, Nakamura Berta continues to extend his lead behind. Nakamura Berta is continuing to extend that lead ahead, isn't he? 2.3 seconds it is. Will that change if Gomez is to go by, or will it stay as it is? Nakamura Berta looks very composed out front. We've said it a couple of times this weekend, haven't he? He just looks very calm. Took advantage at the start, built a gap, and now he's left it up to the chasing pack to do the work to try and chase him down. Gomez, though, looks like the move is on here for second. Not quite close enough into the final corner, but I think he's setting this one up for that run into the Rettifilo chicane. And here we go, Gomez. Surely Newman Chi will have no defence here because Gomez has done that perfectly and will just draw alongside Newman Chi. And through he will go, and Gabriel Gomez will make his way through into second place. There we go. Newman Chi could do nothing about that. Gabriel Gomez can now use the racing line into the first chicane, and that was a perfect draft. And for the first time, they've brought the gap down on Nakamura Berta. It's gone sub 2 seconds, and that's an example of the chasing pack working together to try and close the gap down to Nakamura Berta. It might have not been intentional from Newman Chi, but if they're going to close the gap down to Nakamura Berta, they need to work together here, and that was an example of it. Gomez now will keep this championship fight alive, but it will be alive. Incidents coming up as under investigation. We've seen a couple of them. We'll see what happens to those after the race. It may lead to some grid penalties as we have in this race, but for now, this will go to the final race if it stays like it is. But Gomez, he will not want to do that. He'll want to eat into that advantage that Nakamura Berta has. The gap is 17 points between Nakamura Berta and Gomez. He'd put another 7 points on him. He'd go up to 24. He'd need to just extend it a little bit more. Gomez would have to go and win the race later if it stays like this, and hope Nakamura Berta has an absolute disaster. He'd have to hope he essentially finds himself out of the race, facing the wrong direction, and Gomez goes and wins. We saw how easy that could happen, though. Harry Bansal nearly went straight into the side of Nakamura Berta at the start, but Gomez has given himself the chance. Anything can happen at Monza. And that's what he has to say as Weldon drafts past Newman Chi. For Nakamura Berta, he'll be forced to wait till later to try and close this out. And the gap is coming down as well. It's 1.7 now to Nakamura Berta. Gomez is not giving this up at all. 10-second penalty for 62 and for 42, I think I saw as well there. I'll wait for that to come back, that one to come back up as well. I don't know if it was 42, but a couple of time penalties are coming up. I'll wait for those to flash back up again. There were yellow flags briefly at the first corner as well, and I think we can see the number 27 to your left of screen is tumbling down the order. So that looks like Alexander Bondarev has run into problem. There it is. It was the 43 that got the penalty of Michelini. Well, that was his incident with Guy Albag, wasn't it? Through the first corner. It turned Guy Albag into a spin. The move up the inside, a 10-second penalty as well for Kraling. So 2 penalties going out there for Kraling and for Michelini. They do not affect the point scorers as they are only in the top 10. Kraling actually won't be able to serve that, so he's 1 lap down, so he should be able to serve that. So shouldn't affect the grid for the next race currently. Okay, through the final corner we go. We're approaching half race distance, and we've done so at full pace so far. It's been a nice, smooth race from our leaders, hasn't it? And the gap is just stabilised around 2 seconds. Weldon is starting to join Gomez. In the background, Kabir Anurag has caught Reno Franco, who's just dropped off the tail of the chasing pack. And Kabir Anurag is trying to set up a move here on Reno Franco. Salim Hanna has been dropped from this pack in the red and white Prema there in the background, but that could change with a battle forming here, and Anurag forced to go over the chicane. Will rejoin behind Reno Franco. Makagnani is going closer to the points. The number 8 goes by Al Salati and is right behind Popov and Konsani and Weiss. There's a great battle going on there just for 9th place down. There's a whole queue of cars altogether. Powell has come up to 14th place from 28th on the grid. The Mercedes Junior in the 41. He's now at the head of that queue for 14th and is trying to go after the battle for P9. So we'll keep an eye on his progress and see what he can do. Back to the leaders. It'll be interesting to see what Gomez and Weldon can do as a pair, if they decide to fight this one out or if they decide to work together. Both their intentions will be to get on the top step for differing reasons, but Gomez has to stay in second, remember, to keep this championship fight alive, and Weldon could be a big threat to that, and he drives for the same team that Nakamura Berta does. Gomez, what will his tactic be? Will it be to try and work with Weldon, or will it be to go full defensive mode and just hang on? He's got some thinking to do here. He's under a lot of pressure now. The gap is at 1.8 seconds. If he goes defensive, then it will be on Weldon, Chi, Franco, Anurag and Salim Hanna, who will catch up very quickly. This race hanging in the balance for Gomez. What does he do? A lot of thinking to do, and we've still got a long way to go in this race. Gomez being tested out there mentally. Yellows at turn 1 and 2. Not too sure exactly who that's for. Oh, is that Bansal and Savinkov? Yes, well, that will change the race because that car's going absolutely nowhere. Look at the front right suspension of Bansal, and that's not the first time we've seen him in trouble down at that first chicane. The front right suspension gone. Let's have a look at what happened then for Bansal, and he's made contact with, I think, an RHGP car. Let's have a look again. It looked like he already had damage before. I'm not too sure, but Ari Bansal straight into the side of the RHGP car. And now that changes things, doesn't it? Because the safety car is out, and Gomez has caught Kei Nakamura Berta, and the championship fight has just changed dramatically here. Gomez, 17 points behind Kei Nakamura Berta, has to stay in second if Kei Nakamura Berta wins this race. Ari Bansal climbs out of his car. I mean, it looks like his front right suspension just kind of folded in on him there. Not too sure what happened, but whether that was a case of he'd hit the curb coming in, or whether that was due to the damage. But it seemed he'd made contact on the left side. Not too sure. All will be revealed after. But he almost went straight into the side of Kei Nakamura Berta at the start. And I think a bit of a race to just put behind him, draw a line under and move on. Ari Bansal qualified well, and we'll see what he can do later. The GB4 champion has shown some good pace this season, but this race just not going well for him at all. But let's focus back on this, because this safety car changes things quite dramatically, doesn't it? Nakamura Berta, if he wins this race and Gomez is third or lower, he's champion. It's as simple as that. However, 17 points can come down very quickly. If Gomez is to go and win and Nakamura Berta is second, all of a sudden the gap comes down to 10 points and it's game on for the final race later. If Gomez wins and Nakamura Berta is third, then I'm sure you can do the maths as quickly as me. It's down to 7 points. So this has become very interesting. And if you were watching the race yesterday, the fight between Nakamura Berta, Gomez, Weldon, Chi, Anurag was in there as well. It changed with every single corner. They were going around the outside, down the inside of each other. They were 2, 3 wide. So get yourselves ready for what is set to be a great final 10 minutes. It looks like it was just Ari Bansel's car that needed to be cleared. And hopefully we should get going soon. And there we go, safety car in this lap. So a very quick safety car. Ari Bansel, the only driver out the race so far. A shame because he was third on the grid, but it just sort of all went wrong from the start. But we'll see him back for the final race. Nakamura Berta, though, he used 2 different tactics yesterday for the restart. One of them, he took us all the way to the line, kind of ran down the clock, trying to catch out people. Then, for the final restart, he went really early. So those mind games will be in the head of Gomez. Oh, there's Ari Bansel. Got to feel sorry for him. He'll be back. But Nakamura Berta, which it's kind of now going to play on the mind of the rest of the pack. Which way is he going to go? Because he's done it completely differently both times. Gomez, though, will be poised and ready behind. Less than 10 minutes to go. Will we have a champion at the end, or will we have a wide open championship fight going in to the final race? Could we even have a new championship leader? Let's find out as Nakamura Berta slows the pace right down, heading down to Parabolica. Gomez is there on the right. Weldon is there on the left. He wants to get the win. And Nakamura Berta, like he did yesterday, he's going to go early. But Gomez was wise to it this time, and he's right with him as we head down towards Parabolica. And Gomez close enough to get on the attack here. We are back green in race 2. What was a 1.8 second lead has been diminished for Nakamura Berta, and the opportunity has now been presented to the Brazilian driver, Gabriel Gomez, to fight for this championship lead and this title as we head down the start-finish straight, and the pressure is on. Keen Nakamura Berta, who's going to have to defend down towards the first corner. To the right of screen, Gabriel Gomez to the outside. On the brakes, will take it round the outside, and Nakamura Berta just about giving him the space there, but Gabriel Gomez gave it everything. Whoa, someone went straight on at the first chicane there. Yellow flag out, and a Van Amersfoort car is off with damage, front right suspension damage it seems, and hopefully in a safe enough position that we do not need to get another safety car. But back to our leaders. Gomez now to the outside, going into the Roger. Weldon trying to look to the inside, and it's as you were. Reno Franco goes around the outside of Newman Chi to take 4th place. So a change in the top 5 there. Newman Chi dropping to 5th. Kabir Anurag in 6th place. As we hit the Lesmos, there are yellow flags out, but it seems that car is in a safe enough position that we can keep going. I think it was Andre Rodriguez who unfortunately went off. Let's have a look. Just got it all wrong, Rodriguez. And, oh, the marshal there just running out the way. Andre Rodriguez, I don't think there was too much damage in the end, but all went wrong for Rodriguez. Going wide. I think in the end, Rodriguez did the right thing and took to the gravel in avoidance as we have a big incident there. 2 drivers spinning round. Let's hope the rest of the field can get through. They just about get through, but 2 drivers going off. Big spin for 2 drivers out of Ascari. Hopefully they can both get going again. Meanwhile, the leaders coming through, and it's Nakamura Berta, Gomez and Weldon. Weldon looked the closest to make the attack. Down the start-finish straight we go, and it's Weldon right behind Gabriel Gomez. Gomez weaving to try and get on the attack, but there's yellow flags out down here, so there will be no overtaking, guys. In towards the first chicane we go, and it's as you were, so yellow's out, and that is quite critical. How long will those yellows stay out there? That's for the stricken car of Rodriguez, I believe it is, who's down there. There it is to the right of screen. You can see that car is off, and as long as that's there, there'll be no overtaking down at that corner, and that would be critical. That wipes out one of the main overtaking zones, but it doesn't wipe out this one because Weldon has found space on Gomez and has got down the inside. Gomez needs to get back through. Has to get back through now down into the Lesmos. Has he drawn alongside? Let's find out. Into the Lesmos they go. Weldon giving him the room, but that hands the championship to Keen Nakamura-Berta. Advantage. Prema Racing and Nakamura-Berta, and Gomez has been caught out heading down towards the Rogia chicane, and now we're full yellows and it's safety car again. Wow. Big change before that safety car, and this is why it's going to be for this. So an RSGP alongside one of the Gensers, I think that is, got on the curb on the inside, and I mean, going too wide all the way through Ascari just isn't going to work, is it? So I think that one was never going to work for both drivers involved. Thankfully, that one didn't escalate into a further incident. And once again, that safety car has come at quite a convenient time because for if you're Gabriel Gomez, because Nakamura-Berta looked like he'd escaped there. Gomez had dropped to third. There's the stricken RSGP car on the right, who is going to go no further in this race. And that's a shame. But I think that's Savinkov who is off and out of the race. Thankfully, both drivers away. But Gabriel Gomez now has to reset here. Right now, Keen Nakamura-Berta is champion going into race 3. Gomez has got to get by, or hope Sebastian Weldon gets by Keen Nakamura-Berta. If that happens, then Sebastian Weldon would keep the title fight alive. So there is that method as well, that if Weldon wins the race, then the gap would increase to 20 points between Nakamura-Berta and Gomez, and we keep this title fight alive. It would still be an uphill battle for Gomez, but it would not be over. Well, hopefully now we can get that car cleared at the first corner as well, because I was worried, as I'm sure many of you were, that we were going to stay under yellow flags into the first corner, which would not have been ideal to have a big overtaking zone reduced. But let's hope we can get that one cleared now. And Ascari, and then we can go back racing for the final 2 or so minutes. It's going to be a bit of a showdown, isn't it? Hope you've enjoyed the action in E4 so far this season. It's been another great season of Italian F4 and E4 action. Many drivers, I'm sure, will be getting ready to step up into the Formula Regional European Championship next year. New car being launched, but many, the yellow bars next to the drivers denoting rookies, many will be set to return. Fight for the championship next year. Nakamura-Berta, rookie champion last year, trying to do something no one has ever done before and win both the Euro 4 and Italian F4, do the double. When Kimi Antonelli won Italian F4, he did not win the Euro 4. It was Ugo Ugochukwu who won it. And last season, when Freddie Slater won the Italian F4 championship, it was actually Bora who won it. They had a furious fight for the title. So no one has won both. Keen Nakamura-Berta has won Italian F4. He's got the chance to write some history here. We are early into the history books, of course, but this is a chance to be the first in history to do so. This is the state of the championship so far. Nakamura-Berta is champion, with Gomez in third. Weldon can change that if he goes into the lead of the race. Gomez can change that if he goes back to second. Hopefully we get a safety car in this lap. I really do hope so. We don't want a one-lap shootout for this. Let's hope we can get in. And there we go. Safety cars in this lap. They were listening to us. Right, let's do this then. Over to Nakamura-Berta. Okay. Let's get ready for this. Are we going to have a champion in around 2 or 3 minutes' time? Or will the fight go on to the final race of the season? Nakamura-Berta takes us round Ascari chicane, gets ready for the restart. Seb Weldon in behind. Gabriel Gomez, a reminder, must get to second if Nakamura-Berta wins. If Weldon gets to first, it goes on. We watch Nakamura-Berta in that red and white Prema, leading us down to the final corner. Will his tactic be slightly different this time, given how long there is to go in the race, or will he go early again to try and catch the pack out? There is just 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. Weldon is right there, ready to go. Gomez is there in third place. Weldon ready to the left of screen to make that attack. We're probably going to just get 2 laps of this. And Nakamura-Berta, unsurprisingly, is not going to rush this one. He's going to take us down to the final corner. He's just ready to try and catch the pack out like he did yesterday. And there we go. He's gone for it now. 2 laps we will get in this, what could be championship decider. Round the final corner, up to the start-finish line, and Nakamura-Berta has created a gap over Seb Weldon. Gomez looks like he could take that second place back, and he's drawn alongside Weldon. Gomez has absolutely nailed that restart, and Gomez crucially has got the jump on Weldon and gets himself back into second place. 1 down, 1 to go, or does he? Because Weldon now locks up round the outside. They're going to be side by side, but Gomez looks like he's held on to it. Round the outside they go. They'll be side by side on the exit, but Rino Franco is going to be alongside them. Oh no, an incident through the first corner, and will the drivers be able to get going? Let's find out. There is a yellow flag out, front wing off one of the cars, but where is Gabriel Gomez? That's the crucial thing. He needs to get into second place. He needs to get round the outside of Rino Franco. Gabriel Gomez just about does it. What a move from the Brazilian driver. How did he find the space round the outside of Rino Franco there? Knew he had to get the move done. It was an absolutely fantastic restart for Rino Franco, and I tell you what, that's going to be that for this race. Dupé is out, Vinci is out, and the show will go on to the final race. Gomez has done what he's needed to do to get into second. He just needs to hold on before the safety car boards come out, because we have 2 drivers off at the first corner, and one's climbing out the car. Into Ascari we go. Nakamura-Berta heads through the first corner. There come the yellow flags and the safety car boards, and that will be that. What a shame that we couldn't go to the checkered flag, but we will go to the final race. There's confirmation of the driver's standings. It will be 24 points, and Gomez, the task will be enormous. He'll have to go and win the race and hope Nakamura-Berta has an absolute disaster. For Nakamura-Berta, he'll just need a single point to go and win this championship later. But the job is not done yet. Let's find out what happened then. This was the side-by-side between Weldon and Gomez. Rino Franco drew alongside, and it was a spin for a Van Amersfoort and another spin for a car behind. They kind of followed each other into the same incident and then followed each other into the path of each other there. So not one that either driver will be watching back in a hurry. And now we're back to live pictures. Well, a shame that we end under safety car, but it gives us a chance to preview the race later. 50 minutes past 3 is when we will go later. It will just be the 1 point necessary for Nakamura-Berta. For Gabriel Gomez, as I mentioned, he will need to win the race and hope Nakamura-Berta finds himself in a similar situation that we see the cars in right now at turn 1, really, or outside of the top 10. It's going to be something along those lines, isn't it? But nevertheless, Nakamura-Berta has driven a superb race there. Another win for him. That's 2 for the weekend. He's driven an absolutely superb race and looks very much on track to do the double that we've never seen before. But anything can happen around here. Gabriel Gomez, we all know that. He'll just go and give it his all later. What will be, I guess. But for Nakamura-Berta, it's a case that he can now go out and drive a sensible race. Sometimes hard to do in this championship, though. Rino Franco, a great podium for him. Managed to snatch a podium there at the end ahead of Seb Weldon. When he got that restart, Weldon and Gomez were kind of busy fighting with each other, and Franco set up the switchback move to get through. Newman Chi 5th, Kostic 6th, Kabir Anurag 7th, Maximilian Popov got past Salim Hanna to get 8th, and Konsani will round out the points finishers. Vice 11th, Powell came from 28th up to 12th, so that's a superb drive from Powell. Al Salati will finish in 13th place. Alexander Bondarev will be next along in 14th, and Makanyani, who was fighting for the points at one stage, will be 15th. Michelini will be in 16th place, came from 24th. Nanji will be next in 17th. Ruta, who had a grid drop for this race, 18th. Busso came from dead last, 33rd to 19th. Matilda Patz 20th. Peyton Westcott 21st. Emily Cotti 22nd. Guy Albag was in that incident, 23rd. Kamal 24th. Panzeri 25th. Cortez Kraling. And then we had that incident between Vinci and Dupé. Zavinkov went off through Ascari. And then we had Rodriguez also off there. Ari Bansal was off at the first corner. And the race will finish behind the safety car. The safety car will peel off, and Nakamura Berta will take us over the line. Let's give our attention back to Nakamura Berta, who had to deal with a lot of pressure in that race, didn't he? Led very well on all the occasions he's done the safety car restarts. He's dealt with them really well, and has had the likes of Weldon behind him. He's had Gomez behind him as well, and every time he's been very calm, collected. We haven't seen him make huge lockups, huge mistakes. He's looked very in control of this championship battle in this season finale, and he's forced the rest of the field to chase him down throughout the weekend. And I think that's been the key element that's given him a 24-point lead going into the final race. You know, and it's going to be, you know, for Gabriel Gomez, who will now need 25 points and really a non-score for Nakamura Berta. That's what gives the huge advantage, and Nakamura Berta, for him, just needs to go out and get himself in the top 10, essentially, now to go and win this championship. So he's looked very in control, hasn't he? Gomez has often been doing the chasing, being sixth on the grid, has found himself having to do that, but has given it a really good go so far, and we will see what happens in the final race. We've seen some entertaining battles, particularly at the front, and well done to Torino Franco as well for getting himself on the podium. But across the line, Keen Nakamura Berta, it's 2 for 2 so far this weekend, and that is one step closer for Nakamura Berta to go and take this championship. He is now just one race away from doing the famous double, and Nakamura Berta one step away from possibly doing the clean sweep as well. He will start on pole position later, and Keen Nakamura Berta is very, very close to wrapping up this title now. All he needs later is a points finish, and the E4 championship will be his. He's looking like a real star, isn't he? Keen Nakamura Berta. It's being talked about around the paddock by many that this young talent has a lot in him going forwards. Keen Nakamura Berta. Well done to him. Gabriel Gomez gave it a really good shot there in second, and still mathematically has a chance to go and win later on. Reno Franco on the podium. Great job by him in third. Seb Weldon in fourth. Newman Chi, the best of the rookies, in fifth. Andrea Kostic sixth. Kabir Anurag seventh. Maximilian Popov in eighth. Salim Hanna and Andy Consali, two more rookies in the top 10. Elia Weiss, Alex Powell, the hard charger, 11th, 12th. Badir Al-Salati, Alexander Bondarev, and Nicola Macagnani. Lucas Nanji, Alexander Ruta, Ludovico Busso, Matilda Patz, Peyton Westcott, rounding out the top 20. Peyton Westcott came from 32nd on the grid to 20th. So given the situation she had yesterday. That's a really fine drive. Emily Cotti, Guy Albag, Abdullah Kamal, Ginevra Panzeri, Nicholas Cortez, Evan Michelini, Arjun Kraling, Dante Vici, Andrea Dupé, Alexander Zvinkov. We're getting to some of the incidents there in the likes of Vinci, Dupé, Zvinkov, Rodriguez, Bansal. There's your points. And Keen Nakamura Berta is just a points finish away now from securing things, and Gabriel Gomez, if he does not win later, then there is absolutely no chance that he can win this championship, and it looks all but secure, doesn't it, for Keen Nakamura Berta? But let's see what happens in that final race later. And the final race, we talk about the championship. It's one last opportunity for a win. It's one last opportunity for a podium as well. So make sure you join us. It's the Temple of Speed. It's the best podium to walk out on. It's going to be some entertaining action, side-by-side racing. All the drivers will want to go out on a high. There's no doubt about that. And I'm looking forward to it. So I hope you can come and join us for that later and see what should be some good racing, and we will crown the champion as well, so do come and join us. Keen Nakamura Berta, very hard to bet against him doing it as he climbs out the car, and it will be business for him later now to go and close this one, but that's for now 2 in 2 as he climbs out the car, and that is a very big step taken in the right direction. Keen Nakamura Berta to doing a famous double of F4 championships. He is looking quite the force, isn't he? And he has a very bright future ahead of him to show such maturity of racecraft in F4 is incredibly impressive. And I think some drivers try to accelerate their way through this career. He had a great rookie season and then came back and is now winning titles in F4, and I think that will go a long way for him in his career. He will carry a lot of confidence going forward. And I think for Keen Nakamura Berta, he is going to be one to watch, and he's going to have a lot of eyes on him as well by the higher-ups in many teams. Keen Nakamura Berta, the 51, and a name to keep an eye on going forward. And he is our winner of race 2.
Congratulations again, another important victory, but it looked like to have to fight until the end.
Yeah, we had a good start, a bit chaotic. We got tagged a bit, but luckily we escaped T1. Yeah, pace was really strong, leading and managing to hold that gap. Pretty much half of the race was really good. Yeah, it was so tricky out there. It was so cold this morning, so yeah, I think everyone was struggling with grip. And yeah, and I think we managed the safety car restarts really well. And yeah, it was a really good race. Now all we have to do is get one more point in the next race, but obviously we'll try to go get another good result. But yeah, this has made our life a little bit easy going into race 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to hear from Keen. As he mentioned, one more point coming up later, and this is why we look back at the highlights. He mentioned that moment down at turn 1. He was very close to facing in the wrong direction. He made a good start, but Ari Bansal from the second row would find himself on the left of screen coming into the first corner with a lockup, tagged Keen Nakamura Berta, and then found himself in the wrong direction, would get going again. That would see Rino Franco find himself going through into the lead briefly after he went over the chicane. There's a Dupé running wide as well. He would find himself in further incidents off at the second Lesmo. This was when the 38, we had an incident. These two drivers would eventually get going. It was the 38 and the 62. It was a Ruta who was caught up in that. then we had a Van Amersfoort car here, just losing control going into the first corner as the pack was congested together. And I think just caught up going into that first corner, picked up damage, couldn't get going. And then we had an incident at Scari as well. You're going to see it now. Two cars side by side, both cars spinning around, and thankfully that didn't go any further than just two cars spinning. That brought out the safety car. We were 3 wide on the exit of the corner. We had an incident behind, but the crucial moment was that Gomez had to get into second. And to do that, he would go around the outside of Rino Franco into the Roger with a fantastic move. That put him into second. It kept the championship fight alive, but out front it would be 2 for 2 at Monza for Keen Nakamura-Berta. 1 more point in race 3 is all that he needs to become the E4 champion for 2025. Well, that's celebrations for King Nakamura-Berta, and he's about to do those on the podium now. The fans in numbers here this weekend. We've got lots of action going on. We've also got the, later on, do tune in for single-seater action. We've got Frecker out just before E4. That's at 2:50. E4 will be at 3:50. 2 championship conclusions going on. Make sure we tuned in for both. It's going to be some great single-seater action here around the Temple of Speed. But let's first celebrate the podium for race 2, round 3 of E4. Rino Franco, a 4th podium of the season for him. As he makes his way out, he's got a double podium at Mugello, and he's done a great job in terms of fighting for the championship podium. This is done very good for him. Second place, Gabriel Gomez, 24 points back. Needs to win later. It's a huge task, but he'll be disappointed with how things played out. Would have wanted to win that one, but the win went to King Nakamura-Berta, who needs just the point now to secure this. A double victory. Can he do the clean sweep? It's not been done this season. It's actually the first back-to-back win we've had all season, so that kind of shows you the competitiveness we've had in terms of race wins throughout this year. First time we've seen anyone take back-to-back wins all year, and it's done by King Nakamura-Berta, who looks set to become the champion. Just needs to keep himself out of trouble now later. And Prema Racing on to add to the title they took with Ugo Ugochukwu a couple of years ago. Let's hear the anthem. That is all for race 2 of the E4 Championship. Make sure you join us for the 3rd and final race of the season. That will be at 3:50 local time here at Monza. A champion will be crowned. 1 point is all that's needed for the #1, Keen Nakamura-Berta on the top spot there. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.